Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Welcome sa ating conversation dito sa virtual room ng Catholic Book Center Inc. Sa araw na ito o sa umagang ito, gusto nating i-present ang isang kaibigan. Siguro napansin nyo sa post namin sa aming social media regarding Father Joe Blas at ang recently released book na kanyang isinulat. Kaya masaya tayo ngayon na kasama natin siya.
Good morning.
Yan.
Yes.
Excited kami dito sa Catholic Book Center na interviewin kayo kahit sandali lang. Alam
Yeah.
namin na masyado kayong busy pero pinagbigyan nyo ang aming kahilingan na interviewin kayo para para i-launch natin online itong
Yes.
napakaganda nyong libro, no?
Yeah.
Pero bago tayo tanungan, no? Siguro mas maganda kung i-present niyo muna briefly ang inyong sarili sa ating mga manonood. Since this is our first time to see you and our friends in the social media may be interested in getting to know you better bago yung libro. Kasi yung libro, product nyo lang yun eh. Pero ang maganda yan, mas makilala kayo bilang author, di ba?
Okay. Okay, thank you. I am Father Joe Blas Nolasco. Joe Blas is not is my nickname. My real name is Ju Blas, and I was ordained in the Diocese of San Carlos way back more than 12 years ago. And in the next few months, I'll be 13 years in the priesthood. Thanks be to God. Everything is a grace. I've studied my philosophy in the Archdiocese of Capiz, and then I studied it in United States, my master's in theology. I have been serving in different capacities as a associate pastor or assistant parish priest in the Cathedral of the Diocese of San Carlos. Then I came in Canada and worked in the hospital ministry for a number of years. I also worked in the parish in the Archdiocese of Toronto. There, I've applied in the Voluntas Dei as a priest as well. So I'm journeying with the Voluntas Dei community. So I've been serving in the healing ministry for a number of years. That has been mostly my experience in the workplace in the ministry. And I wrote my first book, Discovering the Joys of Life, during the time of pandemic, and it was launched 2 years ago. Yeah, and now I have this book, Healing Stories, Prayers for Healing.
Maraming salamat sa introduction mo. Napaka ano 'yon? Anong tawag doon? Yung experience mo, no, bilang isang pastor, no, bilang isang pare, marami na kayong mga karanasan sa ministry ninyo at parang nakafocus na napansin ko parang nakafocus talaga yung ministry niyo sa Ministry of Healing. Kaya pala
Yes po.
mas maiintindihan namin ngayon na ang title ng book na to. Pero wag nating i-preempt yung mga answer mo sa mga questions. Okay? So nag-prepare kami ng mga questions para sa iyo at feel free, no, to answer briefly or pagka pwede ko rin itanong sa inyo or mag-request sa inyo na kung pwede nyong habaan pa ang explanation or whatsoever. Okay? So, feel free.
Natakot tuloy ako.
So, feel comfortable with this conversation.
Okay. Sige.
I will
Sige
not
na.
be very I will not be very very
Talaga?
formal, ha. I
Okay,
will not be very
sige.
formal. By the way,
Oh,
baka merong magtanong sa ating mga manonood kung sino ako. Ako pala si Romeo Vital, no? Ako yung managing director ng New City Press Philippines at now
yeah.
handling the operation of the Catholic Book Center dito sa Manila. Okay? So
Okay. Thank you.
matagal na rin ako nagtatrabaho sa media, no? More than 12
Hmm.
years na, more than 12 years na. Okay?
Kaya pala sanay na sanay ka, eh, ang galing-galing mo mag-Tagalog tapos ako parang nabubulol 'pag Tagalog.
So, Father
Anyway,
Joe, ito yung unang tanong, no? In
yeah,
English, in English. Feel
okey.
free,
English na
feel
lang,
free.
oo, para
Oo,
mas madali
English
ata.
na lang. Oo, sige, sige.
Nahirapan ako siguro kapag, mag-Tagalog.
Oo,
Ah,
kasi ano,
Ilonggo naman ako, eh.
Ilonggo
Ilonggo,
ka.
Bisaya.
Oo, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, the first question would be this. What has led you to write this book on healing?
Okay. Well, first of all, just as a small background, um, as I said earlier in the introduction of myself, I am blessed to have the opportunity during the time of pandemic to write Discovering the Joys of Life due to my hospital ministry experience. And being in the healing ministry and listening to a lot of people who are sick, I have encountered people who are stuck in their sickness, or I better say it, perhaps illnesses, because illnesses could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be spiritual. And the work that I do in the hospital ministry is counseling in a way, because we are accompanying patients. We don't go there in the hospital to give only the sacrament of the sick, give Holy Communion,
Yes.
but actually, what I do is to really make an assessment with my patient,
Mhm.
what's going on with their lives, what's going on with their families, what's going on with their relationships. And so we ask questions and talk in a very casual way,
Mhm.
to figure out what's going on in the spiritual world of the
Mhm.
patient.
Yes,
Kaya
yes.
with that experience, no, ang dami ko po, Romy, na experience with patients na nag-journey ako sa kanila. And I can say it from my own perspective and from my own experience that honestly I felt sad
Mhm.
that these patients of mine don't understand God's offer of healing in their lives.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
Kaya parang, parang sabi ko, sayang, no? I mean, God is there offering a healing, pero they do not understand
Yeah.
their situations, because they are living in their blind spots.
Mm.
And all of us have blind spots.
Yes, yes, yes.
That blind spots are actually also of our lack of awareness, and
Yes.
because of that, it resulted to further sickness.
Yes,
So
yes.
I thought of personally of my own sickness too, no, and my
Yeah.
own struggle,
Mm.
and my own emotional sickness. And I thought, why not share my own struggles and
Yes.
sickness,
Yes.
how God has healed me.
Mm.
So one day parang na-inspire lang talaga through the inspiration lang of on November 27, the Our Lady of Miraculous Medal, I
Okay.
wrote on a draft about my thoughts, and it just flowed. So parang inspirationally, I felt that the Lord would wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning po, and I could not go back to sleep, and I started writing and writing and writing, and I remembered the stories of my patients and the people that I have met. And
Mm.
so That is the very reason why also on I started writing on November 27, believe it or not. Natapos ko po on December 12 of actually 2022 on the feast day
Wow.
of the Lady of Guadalupe. So I just want to highlight those kasi a miraculous medal, okay, very important, in our healing. Uh, and Our Lady of Guadalupe is also known for miraculous healing. So in humility, when I wrote this book, my first book, it took me almost a year. But this one, actually, in fairness, only 1 month. So,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ang
So,
galing
yun ang
naman.
mga
Parang
area.
ay alam nyo, ako hindi ako naniniwala sa mga coincidence, eh.
Oh.
It's my personal conviction. Pero mentioning these two dates, no, on the miraculous medal at saka yung Our Lady of Guadalupe, that span of short time, the short span of time
Mhm.
that you were able to produce this book, you were able to write this book. Merong ano yan eh. I mean, I could personally say that it is not a coincidence. Rather,
Mm.
you must have been guided by Our Lady, who has
Yeah.
a very important role in healing, no, our
Mhm.
people, in healing us and
Mm.
in healing our people. Wow, that's very interesting, Father Joa. Okay, let's move on to the second question. Actually, these are groups of questions. Pero
Okay.
briefly, I would like you to answer them. Why did you title the book Healing Stories? Would you like to tell our listeners, our those who are watching this video, what is this book all about? Why is it entitled in this way? Briefly, for you.
Okay. Um, well, first of all, when when I wrote the book, the inspiration that comes was, do you want to be healed? That was actually, in the book, the introduction is, do you want to be healed, as part the of the book. No, that was the first thing that comes to mind in the introduction. Do you want to be really healed? But as I continue writing, believe it or not, parang alam mo yung when you wake up early in the morning, 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
tapos as you continue writing, tapos yung stories are just flowing one after the other. So parang then one day, yung before I finish, no, the story that comes along as I share my own story and the stories of the patients, talagang lumabas, it came out, siya na mismo lumabas na parang, uy, hindi naging, "Do you really want to be healed?" No, eh. It is actually healing stories, eh. Kasi it's not just my story, it's your story, Romy, and it's
Mm,
the stories of many other people.
yeah.
Kaya kapag binasa mo 'to, dun mo maintindihan na, "Ay, maka-relate ako nito, ah. Ah, may matutunan ako dito." And
Yes.
so and that is because the for me, the concept is that the book is all about healing people who had been in a situation of illnesses in different kinds and different forms, and have received the grace of healing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, ang galing naman. So, hindi lang yung parang nakikita ko ha, parang hindi lang yung gusto mong i-communicate yung mga dumadaan sa isip mo na isinulat mo, kung hindi, gusto mo ring maparating sa mga magbabasa nito na ang story of healing na nasa libro, story of healing din nila personally, 'di ba?
Correct po.
So
Yes, tama po yun.
parang mag-enter while reading the book, they will personally enter in your narration, but at the same time makikita din nila yung personal journey of healing nila.
Yes po, and that is actually my intention, my prayer, my aspiration, and my goal, na sana makita mo na ay, na-experience ko 'to ha, naka-relate ako
Yes,
dito,
yes,
na-experience ko
yes,
'to.
yes.
Talagang, ay ito pala, kaya pala nagkakasakit ako at saka ngayon dapat meron tayong isang pananaw 'no, and a
Yes,
different eye to be able to
yes.
be aware of our being stuck in
Ah,
a situation, in our illnesses, and then God's ways of intervention na, ay ito pala, yung parang gano'n. Kaya
yeah.
that is really my dream, you know, and
Yeah,
prayer.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Talaga ha.
Mhm,
For example, I can personally confess to you.
mhm.
Usually confessions
Talaga confession,
are
public,
secret.
wow,
I can personally confess to you when I was reading the book, talagang
oh,
it touched me to the core. It touched me to
ah,
the core because I am also a person who is you know, loves so much how would you say it? Uh Entering into a process. For
mhm,
example,
mhm,
now entering into a process. And I have seen how much when I was reading the book, how much I had the desire to stop for a while, to reflect on what you have written, on your own personal experience, and then look into my own personal journey. No?
mhm,
So,
mhm.
ito
Yeah,
yung personal experience, lalo na nung kinonfess mo yung the greatest darkness that you have encountered in life. My gosh,
correct, oo.
that was very touching to me, and it has led me also to look into my own personal, which was the moment. I mean, the the darkest moment I underwent in my life, no? So
Mhm,
parang talagang nag-resonate talaga siya sa
mhm.
akin itong
And 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 if
yes,
I may
brother.
say, no, if I may add, siguro this is I don't know if I may say it. It's very seldom that the priest would reveal his soul. I bare my
Yes.
soul here. Eh. Kumbaga,
Yes.
I expose my weakness. Eh. In
Yeah,
fact,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
even shared it from the very beginning that I was being
Yes.
bullied.
Yes.
Diba? And so there's so much here to talk about. To also many people are being bullied in their lives and so
Mm.
on, and so that's why I don't want to say it is actually for physical healing.
Yes,
No. But
definitely,
it's also
definitely.
emotional.
Yes.
Oo.
Oo.
Mm.
Tama 'yon kasi nga, maraming mga portions kasi ng libro 'no, kung saan ina-underline mo talaga na ikaw bilang isang pare na ang ministry mo is to accompany people who are sick physically, but most importantly nga yung emotional, spiritual,
Correct. Yeah.
psychological healing. Kaya nga
Yes.
napakaganda kasi you are there beside them, not only physically, but parang you journey with them in their own personal struggles eh. So,
Yes, yes po.
napakaganda. At isang magandang gusto kong i-emphasize dito, Father Joe, yung mga
Okay.
prayers na integrate
Yes.
dito sa libro. So
Yeah.
hindi lang chapters, hindi lang explanation na up in the air, 'di ba? Pero
Yes.
they are accompanied by talagang yung mafi-feel mo talaga yung mga dasal, yung mga prayers na
Yes.
in-insert mo,
Oh.
not only your own personal prayers, but also prayers of people who have had a very profound encounter and experience of God. And
Correct.
that makes sense. That makes sense
Oh.
why you have integrated them in the book. 'Di ba?
Yes po. Yes, so if I may just highlight that, it's very seldom po that you will be able to get a copy of a book that has all the intercession of saints through prayers, and especially to the major illnesses.
Yes.
Alam alam niyo po, marami sa ating mga kababayan na mga na hindi nila alam kung sino yung patron saint of heart diseases. For example,
Yeah, yeah.
kidney diseases,
Um,
stroke, oh,
wow.
alam not a lot of people will know that. So, but here you'll
Yes.
be able to discover na, ay, ang sa stroke pala si Saint Andrew Avellino. Ay, sa Saint kidney diseases, Saint Benedict pala. And so, the idea as well that I have with the book is that when you read the story, the article here, the principle that is accompanied by prayer.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, oo.
Yeah, yun
Mhm.
yun ang napansin ko kaya nga in-emphasize ko.
Yeah,
Pero
thank you.
oo. Pero gusto ko lang sabihin ito, 'wag nating i-reveal lahat dito sa
Oo
conversation
nga,
na
'no?
'to. Otherwise, wala ng they will not look, parang wala ng excitement ang pagbasa ng libro kasi nire-reveal
That's
na
true.
natin lahat. It will just be a foretaste.
Oo nga, 'no?
Oo.
Correct. They
So,
have to
kayong
really
mga kayong mga bibili ng libro ni Father Joe, kung gusto niyong malaman kung sino yung mga patron saints ng mga iba't ibang sakit, we encourage you to please buy the book and have it
correct.
yourself and make an experience of your own personal healing. So, we go to the next question. Just simply, sinabi na natin kung ano
Sige,
yung makukuha partially 'no, ng mga
oo.
readers natin. Pero gusto ko lang, briefly, I want you to answer briefly this question. What do
Yeah,
people get when they buy this book and read it?
okay. Well, the simple answer is, the understanding of the grace of healing, learning the process of God's invitation of healing, and the
Okay.
principles that come with it. Ito po
Oh,
yung emphasis ko dito. When you read the book, you will be able to learn how the process of healing can work in your own personal life.
mm,
And so, having a copy of the book
yes.
will be helpful on your journey, so that you'll understand God's invitation of healing in our everyday life. Yes po.
Wow,
Mhm.
wow! Ang ganda naman
Mhm.
nun, Father Joe. Maraming salamat
Mhm.
for that, Uh,
Oo.
listen very carefully, yung mga manonood. Talagang, very striking 'no, yung sinabi ni Father Joe. I also mentioned it a while ago 'no, yung when I
Yeah.
was reading the book, talagang I entered into the process.
Yeah.
I
Process.
found myself also
Yeah,
asking,
process.
reflecting,
Oo.
yung inner introspection na what we're
Correct, yeah.
saying, oo.
Kasi Romy, honestly,
Yeah,
'no, when I write, siguro kung if since you have read my book, when I write, parang nagsasalita lang ako sa'yo, eh. It's so
yes.
simple, it's so
Oo nga,
easy, in fairness.
yes.
Parang it's like it's somebody is just accompanying you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oo.
No, no, in fact,
Oo.
I also noticed it 'no, take note of this, yung mga bibili ng libro ni Father Joe. Yung the way the book is written is very conversational. Walang
Yeah.
highfalutin walang highfalutin words,
Yeah.
walang hindi siya academic book or
Yeah,
whatsoever.
no.
But you will find yourself really enjoying kasi also, ang maganda dito, Father John, na talagang gumamit ka ng mga expressions, 'no? Gumamit
Hmm,
ka ng mga yung mga sentences, yung mga paragraphs mo na hindi hindi mahirap maintindihan, eh.
yeah,
Mag-e-enter
oo.
mag-e-enter ka kaagad kung ikaw ang nagbabasa sa mga isinulat mo, eh. Napakaganda. So,
Yeah, thank you.
it's not only the book is not only for those who know very well English, who master
Yeah.
the language of English, but also for simple people because also the language is very simple, no?
Mhm, mhm.
So we go to the next.
Yeah.
What do you wish for the readers of this book, Healing Stories?
My wish, actually I mentioned it earlier, no, in passing talaga, no. But my simple lang talaga is that, thinking is that it will give comfort
Mm,
and love for the many people who are sick in their vulnerability.
mm,
Um, Alam niyo po, marami sa ating mga kapatid na nakikinig ngayon, siguro in our respective families, hindi natin paminsan alam, Brother Romy, na may mga sakit pala sila, meron pala sila pinagdadaanan, no? And they are suffering.
mm,
And also, um, when you are sick, you are so insecure. You know,
mm,
you're struggling, you are in distress, you're being helpless. But also, my hope and prayer that through this work, it can bring as well liberation. It
Yes.
can enrich you who is reading to believe that God accompanies us in our
Mm.
sickness.
Yeah.
And He offers us an invitation of healing. And we
Yes.
all need
Yeah.
God's healing. Yun yung aspiration ko na
Wow! Oo,
mm,
oo. Napakaganda, napakaganda talagang there is a personal touch.
yeah, yeah,
No,
oo.
there is a personal touch sa
Yeah,
sinabi mo. Talagang nakakaano naman, sa Tagalog pa, nakakaantig ng damdamin, 'di ba?
okay po.
Oo,
Yeah,
oo.
thank you.
Yeah. No, siguro last na lang, Father Joe, 'no, kasi
Okay.
para hindi natin masyadong pagurin yung ating mga manonood
Oo nga 'no.
ng conversation natin ito. Kung tatanungin kita, kung
Okay.
tatanungin kita, 'no, kasi yun nga, ah, ang book speaks about healing, 'no?
Hmm.
Ano yung feel free also, ano yung puwede mong masabi sa ating mga manonood ngayon at saka yung mga magbabasa ng libro? Ano yung pinaka particular experience mo on healing na puwedeng masabi ng masasabi ng ating mga readers at mga mambabasa 'no, masasabi nilang, "Ah, eto pala yung pinagdaanan ni Father Joe, puwede rin sa'kin 'yan." Yung gano'n. So, after reading the book, they can tell, "Napagdaanan ni Father Joe, puwede rin akong ma-heal." Ano yung particular healing sa story mo na puwede mong ibahagi briefly na puwede nilang i-imitate, na puwede nilang maging inspiration?
Um, as I said it siguro in passing kanina 'no, I've shared it here and I've bared my soul na when I was a kid, I was really being bullied by bigger people. So nung bata pa lang ako, palagi akong binubully at tsaka hindi naman alam ng parents ko nun, eh. Alam mo naman kung bata ka 'di ba, nasa school ka or nandun ka sa labas, hindi naman alam nila na binubully ka pala. So yung, isang bagay na nagtataka din yung doctor that I'm always sick.
Oh,
Bakit ako nagkakasakit? Aha, kasi I was bullied by bigger people. And so I've learned as well eventually how to fight, no, as part of the story of my life. But kumbaga now, in hindsight, naintindihan ko ngayon kung bakit ang isang tao nagkakasakit because it comes from emotional distress. It
hmm,
comes from a certain kind of experience that
hmm,
happened in our life.
hmm.
So, and I think, and that gives, no, I don't want to give into details for it, as we have said,
Yes,
no,
yes.
because otherwise it would be better for them also to discover in the book.
Hmm,
But just as briefly as that, and hopefully, they will have to find their own woundedness and brokenness and their experience that they can relate and find God's healing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow! Maraming
Yeah.
salamat for that, Father Joe. Talagang parang nag-enter ako sa journey mo immediately,
Oh,
in this short
oh,
conversation that we have. Parang pinapasok mo ko sa napaka-sacred na space
yeah,
ng iyong buhay. So,
yeah,
you can just imagine 'no, ang ating mga manonood ngayon, kung bibili kayo ng libro talagang mag-e-enter just like me. I have been saying 'no, talagang you will enter into the very sacred journey of Father Joe, where you will be inspired also, no? And find your
yeah,
own personal healing. So,
yes,
importante ito. So, Father Joe, bago tayo mag-say goodbye,
yeah.
last word mo. Anong last word mo sa mga gustong bumili at saka mga hesitant pang bumili ng
Mm.
iyong libro?
Um, siguro ang last word ko lang 'no, sa mga kapatid natin na nandiyan, nakikinig ngayon, ang masabi ko na kung may pagdududa, it's also an opportunity as well to get even more a copy.
Wow.
Kasi lahat naman tayo kailangan talaga ng healing. Eh, sabi nga ni Bishop Sok Villegas, "Who is in need of healing? We all need of healing.
Yes.
Each of us has a story to share. We need all love, we need all mercy, and we need healing stories. And part of the love language of God is storytelling. And
Yes.
so having a copy of this book, Healing Stories, Prayers of Healing, will give you a way for you to share your own story,
Yes.
to embrace your story.
Yes.
And by embracing your story, you experience God's loving embrace and healing in your life.
Oh, wow,
Di ba?
wow. Maraming
Parang
salamat, Oo, marami pagka hindi pa kayo bumili niyan, naku, you will miss. You will miss the
oo,
grace, 'no, that you are
oo.
going to have, 'no. Sa I will repeat what Father, Bishop Sok says, "Who is in need of healing?" Tayo namang
Yeah,
lahat kailangan natin ng healing. So, kung tayong lahat kailangan ng healing, tayong lahat kailangang basahin ang libro.
yeah, correct. Tama po yun.
Oo. So, with this, thank you, Father Joe, and sa lahat ng mga nanonood dito sa conversation namin ni Father Joe. Maraming salamat sa pagkakataong ito. Marami ring salamat at kung pakikinggan
Thank you.
ninyo yung aming mga sinabi dito at may encourage kayong, pangalan niya, bumili ng librong ito at ibahagi ninyo yung personal healing story ninyo sa iba. So hanggang sa susunod, Father Joe, maraming maraming salamat.
Thank you po. Thank you, Brother Romy. Salamat.
Okay, sa susunod at sa uulitin.
Sige po.
Okay,
Yes, of course.
okay.
Yeah.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye for having me with you.